Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Abhineet Shukla with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi lays foundation stone of Raja Mahendra Pratap Singh State University at Aligarh in Uttar Pradesh, asserts the state emerging as investment destination globally. Government making constant efforts to empower farmers, says Prime Minister. Delhi Police Special Cell busts terror module, arrests 6 including 2 Pakistan-trained terrorists in a multi-state operation. At least 11 people feared dead after a boat capsizes in Wardha River in Amravati district of Maharashtra. Vice President, Prime Minister and Lok Sabha Speaker to jointly launch Sansad TV tomorrow. Over 75 crore 81 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccine administered in the country so far. National recovery rate stands at 97.58%. Last date for nominations to Padma Awards 2022 tomorrow. And Sports Ministry announces free registration for 2 lakh school students for Fit India quiz. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is underway, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also help others get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact National Helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi laid the foundation stone of Raja Mahendra Pratap Singh State University at Aligarh in Uttar Pradesh today. The Prime Minister also visited the exhibition models of the Aligarh node of upcoming Uttar Pradesh Defence Industrial Corridor and Raja Mahendra Pratap Singh State University. Speaking on the occasion, the Prime Minister said today not only the country but the whole world is witnessing India manufacturing defence equipment from modern grenades and rifles to fighter aircraft, drones and warships. He said India is shedding the image of a big defence importer of the world and acquiring a new identity of an important defence exporter of the world. The Prime Minister said new industries are coming up to support the manufacture of defence-related products in the Aligarh node of the defence corridor.
डिफेंस कॉरिडोर के अलीगढ़ नोड की प्रगति का मैंने अवलोकन किया। अलीगढ़ में ही डिफेंस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग से जुड़ी 1.5 दर्जन से अधिक कंपनियां सैकड़ों करोड़ रुपए के निवेश से हजारों नए रोजगार यहां बनाने वाली है। अलीगढ़ नोड में छोटे हथियार, आयुध, ड्रोन, एरोस्पेस, मेटल कंपोनेंट, एंट्री ड्रोन सिस्टम, डिफेंस पैकेजिंग ऐसे उत्पाद बन सके, इसके लिए नए उद्योग लगाए जा रहे हैं।
The Prime Minister said the centre and the Uttar Pradesh government are working together for the development of the state. He lauded the Yogi government for working towards all-round development of the state. Mr. Modi also pointed out that today Uttar Pradesh is emerging as an attractive destination for every small and big investor of the country and across the globe.
मुझे आज ये देखकर बहुत खुशी होती है कि जिस यूपी को देश के विकास में एक रुकावट के रूप में देखा जाता था, वही यूपी आज देश के बड़े अभियानों का नेतृत्व कर रहा है।
The Prime Minister said the central government is making constant effort to give strength to the farmers with small land holdings. Many initiatives like increasing minimum support price 1.5 times, expansion of Kisan Credit Card, improvement in the insurance scheme and provision of pension of 3,000 rupees are empowering small farmers. The Prime Minister also informed that payment of more than 1,40,000 crore rupees has been made to the sugarcane farmers of the state. He said that sugarcane farmers of western Uttar Pradesh will reap benefits from increasing ethanol content in petrol. Paying rich tribute to Raja Mahendra Pratap Singh, the Prime Minister said he devoted every moment of his life for the independence of India. Mr. Modi said the government is paying respect and remembering the freedom fighters who have been forgotten in history and could not get their actual place and honour. The Prime Minister said Raja Mahendra Pratap Singh also did a lot of work in the field of education. Apart from establishing educational institutions, Raja Mahendra Pratap also donated his land for the Aligarh Muslim University. Speaking on the occasion, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath said these projects in Aligarh will become the development axis for Aligarh and adjoining areas. More from our correspondent.
No sooner Prime Minister Narendra Modi pressed the button for laying foundation stone of university, the entire area reverberated with applause. Earlier, the Prime Minister inspected the exhibition model of the university and the defence corridor. The state government has already sanctioned 101.41 crore rupees for the construction of administrative building, academic building, hostel, residential building and other projects for the first phase of the university. More than 395 colleges of Aligarh, Kasganj, Hathras and ETA will be affiliated with this university and the student will get high quality education facilities here. To encourage investment in the defence industrial corridor, the state government has enforced the Uttar Pradesh Defence and Aerospace Unit and Employment Promotion Policy 2019, which is attracting a large number of investors. MS Yadav, AIR News, Aligarh.
Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare today signed 5 MOUs with private companies for taking forward digital agriculture. Speaking on the occasion, Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar said the modernization of the agriculture sector will continue by infusing new technologies so that farmers can increase their income. He said the MOUs aimed at increasing farmers' income and protecting their produce. The MOUs were signed for pilot projects with Cisco, NinjaCart, Geo Platforms Limited, ITC Limited and NCDEX E-Markets Limited. Based on these pilot projects, farmers will be able to take informed decisions on what crop to grow, what variety of seed to use and what best practices to adopt to maximize the yield. Delhi Police Special Cell has busted a Pakistan organized terror module by arresting 6 people including 2 terrorists who received training in Pakistan in a multi-state operation. The suspects were planning to carry out terror attack in some major cities of the country. Briefing reporters in New Delhi, Delhi Police Special Cell Special Commissioner Neeraj Thakur said the raids were conducted in several states as part of the operation. He said 1 person was arrested from Kota in Rajasthan, 2 persons from Delhi and 3 from Uttar Pradesh. Mr. Thakur said the police has recovered explosives, firearms and ammunition from their possession.
दिल्ली पुलिस के स्पेशल सेल को टेरर के खिलाफ मुहिम में एक बड़ी सफलता मिली है। एक मल्टी स्टेट ऑपरेशन में हमने 6 लोगों को गिरफ्तार करा है। खास बात इसमें यह है कि इन 6 में 2 आदमी ऐसे भी हैं जो कि पाकिस्तान में जाकर इसी साल ट्रेनिंग कर वापस आए। केंद्रीय एजेंसी से हमें एक इनपुट मिला था। भारत के कुछ प्रमुख शहरों में कुछ आतंकी घटनाएं करने की एक साजिश हो रही है जो कि बॉर्डर के उस पार से है। इस सीरियस इनपुट को देखते हुए दिल्ली पुलिस के स्पेशल सेल ने एक खास टीम कॉन्स्टिट्यूट करी। जब ह्यूमन और टेक्निकल इनपुट्स एनालाइज किया गया तो देखा कि ये तो कई स्टेट्स में फैला हुआ एक काफी बड़ा नेटवर्क है।
In Maharashtra, at least 11 people are feared to be drowned after their boat capsized in the Wardha River in Amravati district. District Magistrate Pavneet Kaur said the incident took place this morning. Out of 11, 3 dead bodies have been recovered so far.
आज जो घटना हुई उसमें 13 लोग एक नाव में थे और ऐसा सुनने में आ रहा है कि वो विसर्जन कर रहे थे अस्थियों का और उसमें बैलेंस बिगड़ गया और उस वजह से 11 लोग जो हैं की शक्यता है वो डेड हैं। उसमें से 3 लोगों की डेड बॉडीज मिल चुकी हैं, बाकी रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन शुरू है।
As per the preliminary information, it appears that the boat was unable to sustain the weight of its occupants. 13 members of a family were on their way on the boat to perform a ritual on the banks of the river. Search is underway for the others with the help of locals and the district disaster management team. Gujarat's Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel today conducted an aerial survey of the flood-hit areas of Saurash region. Nearly 3,000 people have been shifted to safer places from the marooned villages in view of flood-like situation in the region following incessant rain. AIR Ahmedabad correspondent reports that Jamnagar and Rajkot districts are the worst affected.
India and UK have decided to launch the negotiations on free trade agreements by 1st of November this year. The matter came up during the discussions between Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal and his British counterpart Secretary of State Elizabeth Truss. Mr. Goyal said that the proposed free trade agreements FTA between the two countries will unlock extraordinary business opportunities and generate jobs. He said there is tremendous interest in the business community in both countries, India and UK, about this FTA. The minister said that there is keenness to have an early conclusion of negotiations for quick and early economic benefits to businesses on both sides. Science and Technology Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh today called for greater Indo-US cooperation in the field of clean and green energy. He reiterated India's commitment to promote the nuclear program for providing not only a major source of clean energy, but also as a major tool of application in areas like healthcare and agriculture sector. Dr. Singh said this at a meeting with a high-level US delegation led by Deputy Secretary of Energy David M. Turk in New Delhi. Dr. Singh said, with the rapid introduction of biofuels, renewable energy and green hydrogen, India is well poised to play an important role towards carbon neutrality.
Vice President and Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla will jointly launch Sansad TV at the main committee room at Parliament House Annex at 6 p.m. tomorrow. The launch date coincides with the International Day of Democracy. The decision to merge Lok Sabha TV and Rajya Sabha TV was taken in February this year, and the CEO of Sansad TV was appointed in the month of March. Sansad TV programming will primarily be in 4 categories: functioning of Parliament and democratic institutions, governance and implementation of schemes, policies, history and culture of India, and issues, interests, concerns of contemporary nature.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi lays foundation stone of Raja Mahendra Pratap Singh State University at Aligarh in Uttar Pradesh, asserts the state emerging as investment destination globally. Government making constant efforts to empower farmers, says Prime Minister. Delhi Police Special Cell Bus Terror Module arrests 6 including 2 Pakistan-trained terrorists in a multi-state operation. At least 11 people feared dead after a boat capsizes in Wardha River in Amravati district of Maharashtra. Vice President, Prime Minister and Lok Sabha Speaker to jointly launch Sansad TV tomorrow. Over 75 crore 81 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccine administered in the country so far. National recovery rate stands at 97.58%. Last date for nominations to Padma Awards 2022 tomorrow. And Sports Ministry announces free registration for 2 lakh school students for Fit India quiz. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the evening news. India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage has crossed the 75 crore 81 lakh mark today. The Union Health Ministry said more than 54 lakh vaccine doses were administered till 7 p.m. today. The ministry in a statement said the country reported over 25,000 new cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. The ministry said over 37,000 people recovered from the infection during the last 24 hours, taking total recoveries to more than 3 crore 24 lakh. The recovery rate currently stands at 97.58%. In all, 339 deaths were reported in the same period. Kerala showed a gradual decline in COVID cases as 15,876 were tested positive today. 25,654 recoveries and 129 deaths were also recorded in the state today. Meanwhile, the Kerala government has decided to resume Saturdays as working day for state government offices starting this week. Since the imposition of lockdown in May, the government offices in the state have remained closed on Saturdays and Sundays. The government also decided to reinstate the ID card-based punching system in government offices. This will come into effect from day after tomorrow. The News Services Division of All India Radio in its bilingual live phone-in program Corona Jagrukta series will bring you a special discussion program on COVID-19 tonight. Dr. Lieutenant General Ved Chaturvedi Sir Gangaram Hospital will participate in the live discussion. This can be heard tonight on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards.
India today assured ASEAN partners of country support in recovery efforts of member countries in the post-pandemic period. Minister of State for Commerce and Industry Anupriya Patel and Minister of Finance and Economy of Brunei Darussalam Dr. Amin Liu Abdullah today virtually co-chaired the 18th ASEAN-India Economic Ministers Consultations. The meeting was attended by the economic ministers of all the 10 ASEAN countries, including Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. The ministers took stock of the current pandemic situation and reaffirmed their commitment to take collective actions in mitigating the economic impact of the pandemic and ensuring resilient supply chains in the region. Union Minister of State for Minority Affairs John Barla today inaugurated a double-line bridge at Khumrial in Kupwara district of Jammu and Kashmir. The minister is on a 2-day visit to Kupwara district since yesterday. The bridge costing rupees 614.98 lakh connects famous Global Valley comprising of 1.50 lakh population with the rest of the district.
Trinamool Congress has nominated Sushmita Dev to the vacant Rajya Sabha seat from West Bengal. Former Congress MP Sushmita Dev had recently joined the Trinamool Congress and was given the job to look after the party's functioning in Tripura and Assam. By-polls for the 6 Rajya Sabha seats, including one from West Bengal, will take place on the 4th of October. The seat from the state fell vacant after TMC leader Manas Bhunia decided to contest the state assembly elections earlier this year. Senior Advocate of the Calcutta High Court, Gopal Mukherjee, was appointed as the Advocate General of West Bengal today. Earlier, Kishore Dotto had resigned from the post, citing personal reasons. He sent his resignation letter to Governor Jagdeep Dhankar.
Country's overall exports in merchandise and services combined in August this year are estimated to be $52.20 billion. Commerce and Industry Ministry said the country's exports grew by 33.99% over the same period last year, and overall imports in August are estimated to be $58.57 billion, exhibiting a positive growth of 45.38% over the same period last year. At the domestic stock markets, key indices pared its early gains to end slightly higher today, while the rupee ended flat against the dollar. A report from the business world.
The Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange gained 69 points to end at 58,247. The Nifty at the National Stock Exchange added 25 points to 17,380. Gold fell 36 rupees to 45,888 rupees per 10 grams in Delhi. And at the Forex market, the rupee weakened 1 paise to 73 rupees and 68 paise against the dollar. And in the international market, the Brent crude futures rose 38 cents to trade at $73.89 a barrel. Nishit Kumar for AIR News.
Hindi Divas is being celebrated across the country today. It was on this day in 1949 that the Constituent Assembly adopted Hindi written in Devanagari script as the official language of the country. Today, Hindi is one of the widely spoken languages in the world and the first language of more than 520 million people. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has greeted people on the occasion. In a tweet, Mr. Naidu called upon people to remember the ideals and harmony of the Constituent Assembly on Hindi Divas, which gave respect to Hindi and Indian languages in the Constitution. On the occasion, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said, people from different regions have played a remarkable role in making Hindi a capable and competent language. In his address on the occasion, Home Minister Amit Shah emphasized that Hindi Divas provides an opportunity to evaluate what has been done for the preservation and promotion of languages of the country. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur called upon people to take pledge that they will contribute wholeheartedly in the promotion of Hindi. Hindi Divas was also celebrated at Prasar Bharati headquarters in New Delhi today. Prasar Bharati CEO Shashi Shekhar Vempati chaired a meeting on the occasion. Rajbhasha pledge was taken by the officials to enhance the use of Rajbhasha in our day-to-day activities. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Vempati said Akashvani and Doordarshan have been serving as the voice of India and have given a boost to Hindi and regional languages in their programs. Director General of All India Radio Venudhar Reddy said All India Radio and Doordarshan have played an important role in promoting Hindi language.
As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events is being organized by the government as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
Today is the birth anniversary of freedom fighter Gadi Cherala Hari Sarvottam Rao, who is popularly known as Andhra Tilak. He was born on this day in 1883 in Kurnool. Rao was inspired by the ideologies of Bal Gangadhar Tilak and Bipin Chandra Pal and joined the freedom movement at a very young age. Rao finished his MA from Madras Christian College in 1906, while at the Teachers Training College of Rajamandri, Rao and his fellow students attended a lecture by Bipin Chandra Pal.
Inspired by Pal's speech, the students wore badges inscribed with Vande Mataram to the college the next day.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram.
Mark Hunter, the college principal, objected and refused to admit the students until they removed the badges. The students refused. The principal dismissed Rao, who was a student leader, from the college. In 1908, Rao started a Telugu weekly newspaper called Swarajya. He criticized the policies of the British through his articles published in the magazine. The British declared that Rao's article, Biprit Buddhi, was an act of sedition and sentenced him to 3 years in prison. In 1914, he became the secretary for the Andhra division of the Home Rule League formed by Bal Gangadhar Tilak and Annie Besant. In 1923, he joined the Swarajya Party formed by Chittaranjan Das and Motilal Nehru.
Gadi Cherala Hari Sarvottam Rao is considered as one of the pioneers of the library movement in Andhra Pradesh. He nurtured the library movement in Telugu-speaking regions. Rao was its president for a record 24 years. He had the rare distinction of being the vice president of the Indian Library Association, Calcutta, and the first director of adult education in the Madras Presidency.
It was the strength of the library movement and its philosophy that contributed to the Madras Public Libraries Act 1948. Rao also started and edited several publications and newspapers. Some of them are Andhra Kesari, Navyugam, Andhra Patrika, Matru Seva, Andhra Varta, Panchayati Rajyam. Nominated as the first editor of Andhra Patrika, he stood for the national cause and laid an unshakable foundation for Telugu journalism.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in next episode tomorrow.
To commemorate the occasion as a Janotsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The quiz is being conducted every Monday and Tuesday in Morning News and will continue till the 15th of August 2022. India Post has joined hands as a logistics partner with All India Radio News. Listeners can send their responses to the question over WhatsApp on 8826546262 or through email on amritmahotsavquiz@prasarbharati.gov.in. One lucky participant will be selected as a winner, will be awarded an e-certificate and a token prize.
स्वाधीनता संग्राम के वे निशान जो साक्षी हैं हमारे सेनानियों के संघर्ष और बलिदान के। आकाशवाणी समाचार ला रहा है विशेष श्रृंखला निशान। हर बुधवार को शाम 4:45 पर कार्यक्रम परिक्रमा में FM गोल्ड 100.1 मेगाहर्ट्ज पर।
On to some more news. The Bangladesh High Court has ordered the authorities to shut down all unregistered online news portals in the country within a week. A High Court division bench passed the order on the plea filed by two advocates from Bangladesh. The court in its order told the Bangladesh Telecom Regulatory Commission and chairman of Bangladesh Press Council to execute the order within 7 days of getting the copy of this order. Tomorrow is the last date for nominations for Padma Awards 2022. The Home Ministry said the nominations and recommendations for Padma Awards will be received online only on the Padma Awards portal www.padmaawards.gov.in. Online nominations or recommendations are on for the Padma Awards, Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan and Padma Shri to be announced on the occasion of Republic Day 2022. The ministry said the government is committed to transform Padma Awards into People's Padma.
The Sports Ministry has announced free registration for 2 lakh school students for the Fit India Quiz. The first ever nationwide quiz on sports and fitness, Fit India Quiz, was launched on the 1st of this month to create awareness about fitness and sports among school-going children. Making the quiz even more attractive for participants, every school will now be able to nominate maximum 2 students for free for the quiz on the first-come, first-served basis. Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Anurag Singh Thakur made the announcement in this regard to increase fitness and sports awareness among school children. Mr. Thakur said the Fit India Quiz has been launched as part of the Fit India movement envisioned by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The nationwide quiz has a whopping 3,25 lakh rupees as prize money with a national round telecast on Star Sports. Details of participating in the Fit India Quiz is available on the Fit India website.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi will have a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The temperature will vary between 25 and 33 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Minimum temperature will be 26 degrees, maximum expected to be around 30. Chennai is expected to have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. Temperature will vary between 29 and 36 degrees. Kolkata will have a generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. The city will observe a minimum temperature of 27 degrees, maximum of around 30. In Srinagar, temperature will hover between 14 and 31 degrees Celsius. In Jammu, minimum temperature will be 22 degrees, maximum around 33. Leh is expected to have a mainly clear sky. In Gilgit, temperature will hover between 15 and 36 degrees. Muzaffarabad will have thunderstorms. Most of the northeastern cities, including Guwahati, Imphal, Shillong, Aizawl, Kohima, Itanagar and Gangtok, will have gently cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. In Agartala, temperature will hover between 26 and 34 degrees Celsius. On the southern side, in Hyderabad, minimum temperature will be 22 degrees, maximum around 31. Visakhapatnam will have gently cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Bengaluru will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. In Thiruvananthapuram, minimum temperature will be 24 degrees, maximum around 31. Puducherry is expected to have thunderstorm with rain. Now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi lays the foundation stone of Raja Mahendra Pratap Singh State University at Aligarh in Uttar Pradesh, asserts the state emerging as investment destination globally. Government making constant efforts to empower farmers, says Prime Minister. Delhi Police Special Cell busts terror module, arrests 6, including 2 Pakistan-trained terrorists in a multi-state operation. At least 11 people feared dead after a boat capsizes in Wardha River in Amravati district of Maharashtra. Vice President, Prime Minister and Lok Sabha Speaker to jointly launch Sansad TV tomorrow. Over 75 crore 81 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccine administered in the country so far. National recovery rate stands at 97.58%. Last date for nominations to Padma Awards 2022 tomorrow. And Sports Ministry announces free registration for 2 lakh school students for Fit India Quiz. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.